Banding together and making groups is a behavior built into human beings' genetic code. Tribes, clans, kingdoms, civilizations, nations, the disabled bathroom. Alone we are weak, together we are strong. With the power of the internet, people have found new ways to band together beyond the physical world. They have formed kingdoms that exist only in the mind. These digital alliances are forged by one connection, one uniting force. I like that. This is the fandom. The invention of fire, the milking of the first teat, the planting of the first seed. Did these newly created fandoms contribute to the advancement of the human race? Hell no! Together we are strong, but together we are also toxic. And every single fandom is in fact toxic. Let me repeat, every fandom is a toxic fandom. Fandoms are an internet thing. Of course, you can have your friends who like the same shows as you. Maybe you dress up real nice as your favorite character and go to a convention and meet some fellow dressed up superfans. But internet forums, meme pages, TikTok, these are the kinds of places where humongous groups of fans regularly interact with each other, and these are the places where the fandom shows its influence. The internet is where the fandom manifests itself, and the internet is toxic as hell. It brings out the worst in people. If a person doesn't like a show in the real world, they'd probably hit you with a, "Hey bro, it's not for me." But that same person on the internet, shit, they'd probably hit you with a When I go on the internet and say that My Hero Academia is overrated, I get people threatening to predator missile my IP address. It's funny, cause when I went to my university's anime club IRL and I started burning tankobon volumes of My Hero Academia in front of them, they didn't say a damn thing. They were scared. They were shaking in their official My Hero Academia Wellington boots. Oh, my Academia, not the tankobons. Online, bruh, the Pokemon fans, they come for you. They hunt you down in packs. If you express any opinion at all, some collection of so-called fans will spam you with paragraphs and paragraphs about why you're an idiot, a doo-doo head. If you say you like Charizard, you're wrong. If you say you don't like Charizard, you're also wrong. Personally, the one Pokemon I never actually understood the hype for was Blastoise. How are you gonna be the only Pokemon to rock up to the function with certified military artillery strapped on your back? It's uncalled for, bro. You just look like you're overcompensating, bruh. The other day, I saw a little kid wearing a Blastoise backpack in my local Japanese supermarket. I went up to him and I politely informed young Taro-kun that he was an idiot. I calmly conveyed to him that he had made a series of terrible decisions. I proved to him the superiority of Venusaur with facts and logic. He started crying like a typical snowflake water type, so I grabbed that buffoon and I screamed, "Gengar, Gengar, Gengar!" That baka, that water type, he just kept crying. Where's your keyboard now, Taro-kun? Where's your hate comments? Your fellow Redditors aren't gonna save you now, Taro-kun. Now, Taro-kun, I probably ruined his day. I potentially ruined his month. I possibly ruined his year. But I had to. Taro-kun was a complete lie. That whole story was a fabrication. I bet all you Poke fans were triggered, weren't you? I bet all you water types were getting ready to Blastoise my booty hole. This is the illusion of the internet. Neither does my behavior to Taro-kun nor your getting triggered at my fake behavior to Taro-kun compute with reality. On the internet, people let their intrusive thoughts win. They unleash their dark desires. In real life, if I'm laying with my homie and we're watching Naruto Shippuden and my homie hits me with an "I'm about to blow" when he sees Daidara's mouth hand Ussi, I'm Rasenganing his genitalia. On the internet, people will post the most heinous fan art and they'll get likes. They'll get 4K terabit folders of Daidara's mouth hand Ussi screenshots shared to them in their DMs. In real life, when you're discussing your interest in a certain anime or TV show, you're probably gonna hold your fire. You probably don't want to be labeled as lusty. But on the internet, this element of fanhood, it's unleashed. The dogs have been let out and the dogs are lusty. The dogs want to post CapCut edit, and they want to post Rule 34 not safe for work content. Algorithms lead you to extremes. If you like a picture of James Charles looking extra spicy, the algorithm will then overload your senses with a James Charles Lil Nas X double dose. The algorithm doesn't care about mild discussions. It doesn't care about people respecting other people's opinions. It wants the juice. It wants the weirdos. The algorithm is almost like the opposite of real life. All the annoying Donnies who people usually ignore, the algorithm blasts those guys in everyone's faces. 99% of fans of every show are probably just chill, normal people. But the 1% that we see online, they are chosen by the algorithm because of their toxic behavior. Technically, I could take a zoomed in picture of my gooch looking extra crusty, and I could call that a picture of myself. But that picture is not representative of the whole. Toxic fans on the internet are the equivalent of that zoomed in extra crusty gooch. All these things, they're all happening at the same time. Algorithms, crusty gooches, people being mean on the internet. All these things, they create a relay loop. A suburban teenager, he might have a favorite TV show. Maybe it's My Little Pony. And he might go online and look up some fan theories. He might look up some episode reactions. He might then read the comments and wait a second, he sees a comment that resonates with him. He sees a comment shitting all over the other pony TV shows. Hell yeah, all the other pony TV show fans, come get this smoke. The suburban teenager thinks to himself. He remembers the name of the commenter, Iowa Oni-chan 31. Later at night, when Grandpa Rick takes out his dentures and goes to sleep, that same suburban teenager, he goes back on his computer and he looks up some erotic My Little Pony content. He can't help it. Those damn ponies turn him on. He quietly reads some hot and sexy My Pony comics. A violent moan shakes the suburban household. The teenager nearly shits himself. The moan wasn't his. Oh, thank goodness. It was just Grandpa Rick having another Vietnam flashback. The teenager goes back to his computer. Wait a second. Iowa Oni-chan 31? What's he doing in the My Little Pony XXX comics comment section? The teenager, he sends Iowa Oni-chan a friend request. Boop. Request accepted. Iowa Oni-chan then invites the teenager to a My Little Pony fan Discord group. You're gonna love these guys. We're just a bunch of red-blooded suburban pony fans. The teenager spends the rest of the night dropping the filthiest, most abhorrent tweets in the history of man with his new online friends. For the first time in his life, he's happy. He feels like he's a part of something. That's how it happens, ladies and gentlemen. That story is the story of the birth of the toxic fan. Toxic fandoms, they operate like medieval kingdoms. They have leaders who pick out an innocent little tweeter in the wild, and with just one retweet, click, the hunt has begun. Ratio, ratio, ratio. All the minions, all the suburban teenagers, they'll type that shit, burning another witch at the stake. These kingdoms have court artists, artisans that craft the most vine boom disgusting erotic fan art for the rest of the kingdom to enjoy. All these kingdoms are built on different foundations. Steven Universe, Rick and Morty, Dream SMP, Taylor Swift. But once they are fully built and manifested, all these toxic fandoms, they all do the same shit. They all want to conquer and destroy and make sure everyone else on the internet has as least fun as possible. Digital scorched earth, ladies and gentlemen. And I could care less. The media has conditioned us to give a shit about literally everything, but I don't. If people dress up in the most goofy goober of outfits and act a bit foolish on camera, that's fine. If people, when they see two male characters on screen, just can't help imagining those two male characters violently making love with each other, it is what it is. The more messed up stuff that toxic fans do, the attacking people online, the death threats, that stuff ain't right. No, I don't like that. But at the end of the day, just like everything else wrong with humanity, if I ignore it, it doesn't exist. If toxic fandoms are medieval kingdoms, then my experience on the internet is me fatty chilling on an inlet. I only got social media when I was 18. I've never used Twitter. The internet has been good to me. That is, until the rise of short form content. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. That shit was like my Fire Nation. Short form content is when I lost control. I could be scrolling through Instagram, getting my daily dose of LeBron James memes, and then bam, out of nowhere, some horrendous fandom content could infiltrate my algorithm. Short form content grabbed me by the gooch and force fed me all the musty corners of the internet that for so long I had desperately tried to avoid.
Take it, take it, take it, take it, take it!
My Hero Academia is overrated. I said that earlier in the video. Honestly, the show is fine. It's whatever. The reason why I have that opinion is because of vengeance. It's because My Hero Academia was the first time a fandom ruined the show for me. The My Hero fandom, all their horrendous Twitter behavior, all their cap-cut edits, they were short contented straight into my brain. And while I would be watching the show, I'd get toxic fandom flashbacks just like Grandpa Rick. That shit was imprinted too deeply into my subconscious. As a kid, I was a huge Naruto fan, and I won't lie, on the playground, we might have done a little role playing. I may or may not have fully planned out a Lady Tsunade falls in love with Bang Reshi the Genin filler arc. I might have mastered the art of suck on them anime titties no jutsu. If TikTok was around when I was a kid, I know I would have been sentenced to 10 years on a cringe anime fan page. I might have been labeled toxic. I might have then slipped through the cracks and fallen into the relay loop. That's something I've come to realize. A lot of these toxic fans, they're probably alright people. They just been sucked in. Liking a TV show is not a crime. Liking a TV show and being an absolute weirdo is also not a crime. Liking a TV show and not wanting to be exposed to the absolute weirdos who also like the same TV show as you is also not a crime. But the internet, it jumbles all those people up and brings out the toxicity in all of them. The internet, it's real, it's here, basically everybody uses it, but that doesn't mean that the internet has to win. If technology builds short form content, if the toxic fandom kingdoms build warships, I'm building moats. I'm building drawbridges, I'm hiring lookouts and investing in defensive fortification research. I am defending my inlet. And that's what's up.